Hello everybody, this is Baka Zombie. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG live video. Today we're going to be looking at a new deck. This is kind of an older deck. It didn't really get much updates with the new Twilight Masquerade. I say new Twilight Masquerade. Twilight Masquerade's starting to get old. We're waiting for the new set to come out, but I'm still learning what cards are currently out there. And I learned about this card recently. I'm like, that's kind of fun. I want to see if I can make a deck off of it. It won't be the easiest deck to use. It is kind of hard countered by just one card, which kind of is annoying, but we're going to see if we can make this work. This is going to be a Tinkaton EX deck, as you can see in front of you. If we look at the Tinkaton EX, the only attack we're going to be using with this card is going to be the Big Hammer attack. It's a 30 times the amount of cards you have in your hand. I mean, you could hold your hand with both hands, I guess. But yeah, so this card relies on you having a lot of cards in your hand, which is kind of counterintuitive to a lot of gameplay styles. Typically, you just want to be chucking your cards out there, getting them played, shuffling your hand back in your deck, discarding your hand, getting new cards. This is all about building cards up in your hand, and not playing them. So it's a fun little twist to how we typically play Pokemon. Now, some of you may have already picked up on what card counters this card really hard. The Iono card, which makes both players shuffle their hands and into their deck and draw the amount of prize cards they have left. If you are in the lead, Iono can really slow you down. So our goal is to make this deck able to come back from being Iono'd in the late game. So a couple of ways we're going to do that is by having just one copy of the normal Tinkaton EX. So we're running not Tinkaton EX, just normal Tinkaton. We're running 3 Tinkaton EX, one of just this normal Tinkaton, and it's because of its ability, Gather Materials. You can discard a card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw 3 cards. So you just discard 1 card, draw 3. So if you got Iono'd, easily get a 2 additional cards, technically, from the net gain of that. Another card that we're going to be using to counteract Iono is Dunsparce. Dudunsparce, in fact. With Dudunsparce's ability, Runaway Draw. Once you're in your turn, you may draw 3 cards. If you drew any cards in this way, you may shuffle this Pokemon and all attached cards into your deck. So the goal is to be cycling Dudunsparces from your bench back into the deck, or even from the active. It's a good way to switch too. If like your opponent knocks out a Pokemon the previous turn, you can bring Dudunsparce to the active, use the Runaway Draw your cards. You do draw the cards before Dudunsparce goes back into the deck, so you get to choose a new active Pokemon after you draw your cards, which is kind of nice, because then you know if you want to bring up a Tinkatink to evolve into a Tinkaton, or just get those kind of energies out there. Outside of that, we have your typical supporting Pokemon, Manaphy, Radiant Greninja, and Ursaluna EX. As far as trainer cards go, only things you're really going to be seeing that you don't see in typical decks. We do run a single copy of Iono, just for early game, because getting 6 cards off of a supporter is not bad early game. We also have Great Ball, which is an alternative to using something like Ultra Ball, where you're discarding cards. With Great Ball, you look at the 7 top cards of your hand, then you take a Pokemon from there, shuffle your deck. We do run Morty's Conviction, which allows you to discard 1 card from your hand, and then you draw a card for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if they have a full bench, you're gaining a net 4 cards off of a Morty, which is good for us. We also run a single copy of Arezu, where that allows you to look for you can look for Tinkatuffs and the normal Tinkaton and the Dudunsparces with this. You can't look for your Tinkaton EX, unfortunately, or even the Ursaluna is not an evolution, so it doesn't matter. We also run Nemona, which is a very basic supporter card that you'll see in like theme decks and stuff. It's typically not run in a lot of meta decks, but it is a solid, consistent supporter card where you get to draw 3 cards. So just a free 3 cards off the rip. It's going to be good for this deck specifically. We also run a single copy of the trainer card Nemona's Backpack, which lets us put 2 Nemona cards from our discard pile in our hand, so we can just shuffle those Nemona right back in our hand, draw 3 more cards. perfect, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Outside of that, typical trainer cards you'll see on your screen. And then for our energies, very strange energies. We only run special energies in this deck. So things like Enhanced Hammer are going to be bad for us. But that's also not a card you see in a lot of decks. And if they do have it, they usually run like 1. So it's not a big deal on that front. So we run 4 of the double turbo energies, which does reduce our damage, unfortunately, by 20. But it is a consistent way of getting Tinkaton to attack within 1 turn. We also have the reversal energy. It provides a singular energy unless it's attached to an evolution Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box. And if your opponent... Sorry, I'm just reading this. If you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, and if this card is attached to an evolution Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, this card provides every type of energy, but provides only 3 at a time. So this only works on Dudunsparce. So this is a I need to attack with the Dudunsparce card. We're in a pickle. That's why we only run 2 of them. This way, Dudunsparce's attack does do 90 damage, so it is decent damage. So it could be a quick KO if you don't have like a Tinkaton EX ready to go. Actually, I believe yes, this would also work on the normal Tinkaton, which the normal Tinkaton special hammer does 90 plus another 90 if there's any special energies attached to this Pokemon. So that's 180 damage off the Tinkaton as well. So that's what you're going to be using the reversal energies for. We also have a Neo Upper Energy, which works for both Tinkaton EX and normal Tinkaton. Which, if it's attached to a Stage 2 Pokemon, it provides 2 of any type of energy. So, that's a way to do that. You could also technically power up your Tinkaton EX to use its 3rd attack by attaching a Neo Upper and the double turbo, but that's a lot of energies attached to 1 Tinkaton EX you kind of don't want to do, and the pulverizing press really isn't worth it unless your hand is really low, because it only does 140 damage, but it isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, so it can't be reduced outside of your double booster, double turbo energy. But yeah, pretty simplistic deck once it's all said and done, but we're here to just have big hands and big hammers, you know what I'm saying? So let's get a couple games here and see if we can't get this running. All right, we do the coin toss. Always choose tails, always lose. I do have a new webcam now, so hopefully it doesn't look too bad. I think it makes my beard a little darker than normal, but we're still figuring out the lighting, positioning, all that kind of stuff. We do lose the coin toss like predicted. With this deck, you kind of want to go first because you have evolutions. Like, just straight up all evolutions outside the Ursaluna and the Greninja, and they're not attacking. So we mulligan turn 1, show our opponent we have a Tinkaton deck, which is always a plus when you show your opponent what kind of deck you're running. I'm hoping they don't really know what to do about it, though. Any other things I have to talk about? I don't think so. Oh, hey, I have to mulligan twice. Are you kidding me? And I show off the Dudunsparces, and it's not a big deal. What am I trying to say? Nothing important. Now I'm lost. Oh, yeah. Hey, shouts out to Fairy Energies. If you guys remember Fairy type, sound off in the comments. Being in TCG, I should say. Because that was a thing for a little bit. Okay, we have a Roaring Moon deck. This looks like it might be the theme deck. So I don't know the normal Roaring Moons run the Brute Bonnet version of it. Well, we'll see. They got a lot of good cards right off the rip, but it is the Roaring Moon that needs a lot of energy to power up, and it's not on the bench. Oh, it is? Okay, it's not the theme deck, because Scolopede's in here, so they did update it a little bit. Energy attach, Earth and Vessel, get a bunch of dark energies. So they have one in the discard, so they can attach. Okay, pass. We are good with that. We had a rare candy, so I can throw a little Tinkatink on the bench. A little Tinkatink. I could Morty's Conviction to get 3 cards. I don't know what I need right now. I'm going to drop the double turbo onto Tinkatink here. I mean, I might as well Morty's Conviction, right? So I can support her next turn as well. What can I get with a Nest Ball that would be worth my time? Greninja? I'm going to grab a Greninja or another Dunsparce, which I think I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to grab another Dunsparce here. Then we're going to play Morty's Conviction, so we can draw 3. I'm going to drop the counter catcher. I don't think we'll need that. Okay, we do grab a Greninja, which isn't the most useful thing. And we do have Artazon, which also doesn't really help us. But we do have Nemona for next turn. So we need Nemona to come up big. Well, we do have a Dudunsparce too. So we're going to get an additional 6 cards next turn. So I'm going to end my turn. Hopefully this Dunsparce doesn't get KO'd, but it's not the end of the world if it does. Because we do have a second one on the bench. My opponent shouldn't be able to get this this Roaring Moon attacking on this turn. Especially because they play Explorer's Guidance. If they played something like Professor Sada's whatever the heck, where you get energies out of the discard, they could have probably powered it up this turn. But I don't think they can here. It is worth noting they're going to be powering up Baby Moon. Oh, they have more Pico in here. What's the more Pico do? I have not seen this card. This Pokemon has no energy. It attaches no retreat cost. Move 2 dark energy from one Pokemon to bench Pokemon, I assume is what that says. They get back a Professor Tiro scenario. Which they can't play. I mean, it's in the deck, so they couldn't play it anyway. Yeah, I don't mind if Brute Bonnet poisons here, because I'm just going to evolve and get out of here next turn anyway. Just the standard attach to the Roaring Moon. I would love it if I could get a Tinkaton off next turn. Pass for my opponent. Cool. If I get Tinkaton off this turn, it's going to be crazy. It's going to go nuts. I could Greninja if I really need to as well. I hope I don't need to. Okay, get the Dudunsparce. Play Nemona. Draw 3. There's our Tinkaton. So we can Rare Candy into a Tinkaton. It's not worth it to do the Greninja here, because I'm playing 2 cards to get 2 cards off the Greninja. So not worth it. I don't need to grab another Dunsparce because I already have one. So I can just run away draw with this Dunsparce, or the Dunsparce. Get 3. I do get a Great Ball. Let's see how much damage our Tinkaton's doing. Our Tinkaton's short by 10. That sucks. Is there a way for me to get around that? Because I can Great Ball for 1. Oh, wait. I can Great Ball for a Dudunsparce. I'm going to play Great Ball. I get a Dudunsparce. We're knocking out this Roaring Moon this turn, baby. A baby. Evolve into Dudun. Use our runaway draw. Get 3 more cards. And we actually get 2 Dunsparces off that. I'm doing 280, so I can drop down a Dudun. Or a Dun. And that brings us down to 250. I can't play another one because it'll bring us back down to 220. I can't play any cards, so I might as well just Big Hammer swing. We Big Hammer swinging out here, boys. Hit this Roaring Moon. Boom! 1-8 KO. All that energy attached gone to waste. Get that big Roaring Moon off the field. And we get another Tinkaton EX. We don't have a Tinkatink set up, so it doesn't really matter. But that's 2 more cards to our hand to do big damage with. And we have a boss's order. So if they play another Roaring Moon, I'm just pulling that baby right off the bench. Or even a Baby Moon. And the Venipede has such a big retreat cost. It's going to be so hard to get for them to get it off of the active spot. They do play a Jacques, so they can get some evolutions. It's going to be a Scolipede and a Clodsire EX. This is a poison-heavy deck for sure. I wonder if they're even playing Baby Moon then. Perilous Jungle. I'm going to spit poison, so I get poison. Does big 50 because of the Perilous Jungle. I'm going to play Artazon to get that out of there, because I don't love that. It is going to help my opponent, unfortunately, but it makes it so my poisons aren't being as bad. And I think I could just pull up the Sneasler. Is that worth it? I don't think so. What I can do, though, I can play another Dunsparce. I'm going to try and get another Tinkatink sitting out here. So I'm going to play Morty's Conviction. Discard a card. You know what? Reversal Energy could actually come up big here. I'm going to drop Manaphy, because I don't think we need Manaphy in this scenario. I only get 2 off of that. But I have so many ways to get a Tinkatink. I don't need to be relying on Morty's Conviction anyway. There's a Tinkatink right there. My little Tinkatink. I do need a Dudun, though. I would love a Dudun here. So I'm actually going to Radiant Greninja. Use concealed cards. Drop one of these reversal energies because I have 2 now. I do get a Great Ball. Let's see if we can get a Dudun off of that. No Duduns. That is bad for me. And no Tinka... Well, I guess we have a Tinkatink on the field. I could grab a Tinkatuff. Or an Ursaluna. I'll grab a Tinkatuff just in case I don't have a Rare Candy next turn. My Tinkaton can take some damage. It's got 300 HP. And I only have 1 switch. I guess, actually... Because what I could do here... This is what I'm going to do. Oh, no, I can't. Well, no, I got... Okay. Play switch. Bring up. Doesn't really matter who. Dunsparce only has 1 retreat. Bring up to Dunsparce. Play the reversal energy on Dunsparce. Retreat Dunsparce for the Tinkaton, just to cleanse that poison. And then we can Big Hammer for 220. Knock out that Venipede. I just wanted to cleanse the poison because right now they don't have a way to get me poisoned again. And that way I can just keep my health up. We do grab a double turbo, so we can power up another Tinkaton if we need. Root Bond is going to become the new active Pokemon. Let's see if my opponent can get themselves out of this pickle. Yeah, like, the poison version of this deck is just so many cards that you have to kind of get through that it's hard to get off the Roaring Moons, which I think are the main point of this deck. And, like, the deck that they provide you is already kind of slow with just the Rubonded and the Sneasler. That adding Pheasantipede, adding in Clodsire, adding in more Pico, adding in the Scolipede, it's just so many that it's hard for it to get where it needs to go. Okay, they attach an energy to the Pheasantipede. I'm just pulling that girl up. That guy, girl. Come here. Come here. I need you. How much are we doing? We're doing... Wait. 0 to 250. Why is that? Luminous energy. It provides one. If this Pokemon attaches any special. Okay, so it can possibly live this, so I might as well have just knocked out the group on it. Oh, I forgot about Physandipide's ability. We can do here though. Evolving the Tinkaton. Or Tinkatuff, I should say. I could Greninja here. But I think I'm going to hold on to that double... Well... Yeah, I don't need it right now, you know? They also didn't use my Artazon, which is kind of crazy. So we're going to try and hit this big hammer. Let's see if we hit it. Hit the heads. Frick! Alright, Pheasantipede lives for the turn. You lucky... Oh, wait, no. It's heads. It's heads that I don't hit him? I thought it was tails. Well, I hit him. Whatever it was. Let's see. If heads prevent the damage. But is it because... Why did Big Hammer knock out there? If this Pokemon has any dark energy attached to it and is damaged by an attack, flip a coin of heads, prevent that damage. As long as the Pokemon is, it provides every type of energy, but only provides 1 energy at a time. Come here, come here, come here. If the Pokemon's card attaches any other special energy attached, it should have been providing dark energy. That should have... And I flipped the coin and I hit heads, right? I thought I hit heads. Oh, it hit tails apparently. Oh, wait. Sorry. I thought if I hit... Oh my god. I'm so slow. I thought if I hit tails, it prevented the damage. And then I read it and said if it hit heads, it prevents damage. But I just, like, rolled into... I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry. Everything's kosher. Everything's kosher. Dark Patch and the ability capsule booster energy thing so they can poison me this turn. I believe this deck only runs 1 switch card, so... We could just manually... Okay, they're gonna play the Monkey Dory. I could just manually discard the double turbo because we have 2 in our hand, and we can bring up a new Tinkaton EX. Earthen Vessel for the Scallopy to grab 2 Dark Energies. They're going to attach a Dark Energy to this Monkey Dory. But it doesn't matter because your side isn't going to have any damage counters on it. Dark Patch to the Sneasler and start powering up the Sneasler. Toxic Powder, which is fine. Which is fine. I just pay the retreat. Bring up my Tinkatuff. Evolve into Tinkaton. Double colorless. How much are we doing off of that? 220. That's enough to knock out a Brute Bonnet, but we might as well, for prosperity's sake, play Nemona's Backpack, play Nemona, get into 3 additional cards. Where are my Dudunsparces? We have at least 2 in the deck still, and they're just hanging out somewhere, I guess. So I can attack here for a big 280 on the big hammer. Bop! And now they don't have a way to poison us anymore until they draw another Brute Bonnet. I know they have at least a Clodsire EX in their hand still. Is one of those cards. But yeah, the Monkey Dory, in addition to everything else that they're running, like their deck is too clogged with Pokemon cards, which is a weird thing to say in a game that's about Pokemon, but that is just kind of the case with Pokemon. You don't want too many Pokemon. Like I try to keep mine to about a third of the deck. Even then, like going over 20 makes me nervous. Okay, they do finally get a Wooper. Whooper! I can just pull the Wooper off the bench and kill it, so that Clodsire can't get in. I mean, this is the last. This is also the last prize card I need. So they're gonna bring the Wooper up though, and then concede. Like I said, too many Pokemon clogging up that deck, unfortunately, for my opponent, because it seemed fun, but you kind of just have to like pick a lane as to how you're trying to poison things. So we're gonna get another battle, see if we can get Tinkaton off and running again. Let's hope. All right, we get to juice the coin toss again. We always choose tails, we always lose. Let's see. Fairy, we win. All right, so we're gonna go first so we can get those evolutions up and running right away. We were lucky that there were no Ionos. Oh, we got a really good first draw. Well, not really good. We got a decent first draw. I would love a Dudunsparce, but I think we're just in here with Dunsparce. I feel fine putting out a Tinkatink, especially because we're going first. And it looks like we're going up against a Charizard deck, or just somebody that likes Charizard and isn't playing a Charizard deck. But we do have both versions of Tinkaton here. I would like to be able to get the Gathering Materials Tinkaton going in this game, just to be a little bit different than the last game, but not having any supporters, not having a Dudunsparce kind of sucks. But we get 2 draws before we need a Dudunsparce anyway, so hopefully we can get something going. My opponent just plays 1 Pokemon. It is going to be the Charmander. We do start off here with a Dudunsparce. So next turn we're ready, rocking, ready to go. I'm going to put another little Tinkatink down there. I do need a double colorless. I need Rare Candy. I need a lot of things. Supporter would be really nice next turn, but we can roll with a Dudunsparce as well. I don't want to play too many cards because then I just have no cards in my hand. But I think a Buddy-Buddy Poffin is going to be worth it here to get another Dunsparce. Let's grab 2 Dunsparces. Why not? Just in case this one gets KO'd. In case we get like a second Dudunsparce next turn. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. We just have a lot of Pokemon out there. Also thins out our deck a little bit to hopefully get a card we need next turn. See what my opponent's able to do on this turn. There's not gonna be any Charizards this turn. Let's see if they're running the Pidgeot version of this deck, or maybe even the Dragapult. I don't like the Dragapult version of this set. Okay, it is Pidgeot. When I started playing, my main deck was Dragapult Charizard, and it was just too clunky for me. It also had Pidgeot, so there's 3 stage 2s, which is just a little too much for me. They do attach the Fire Energy manually to the Charmander this turn, get a Pidgey and a Bidoof. They're kind of looking clean over there, so I would really love a supporter this turn, if I could. Especially because I'm going to have to fish with the Dudunsparce draw. And I would really like it if I had a way to get Tinkaton EX up and running. If I could just knock out this Charmander next turn, we'd be looking so good. Super Rod is not what I need right now. Let's chuck it to Dunsparce. To Dun, you got to give me a supporter, a double booster energy, and a rare candy. Easy, right? Runaway draw. Those are the worst supporters I could get. I guess I can get another Dudunsparce. I could get 2 more Dudunsparce. Actually, hold on. Arezu might have saved me. Let's play Arezu. We're going to grab a couple Duduns. I could grab a Tinkatuff just for prosperity's sake. I'm going to grab a Tinkatuff. Because I can only realistically hope for 1 rare candy this turn. So I'm going to play 2 Dudunsparces here. I want to evolve one of my Tinkatinks into a Tinkatuff, and that's going to be the Gather Materials Tinkaton. We're going to run away draw with the Dudun. We get a Great Ball and a Dunsparce, which really doesn't help. I do get a Reversal Energy. I think it might be worth it to just attack with Dudun. Or I could attack with Tinkatuff. Reversal Energy. Do I have to be a stage 2? If you have more prize cards than your opponent in your... I don't have more prize cards technically, so I don't think this is actually worth this turn. I think we have to do the Dudunsparce here. I'm going to play my Dunsparce as well, so I have 1 sitting there. I get the double colorless. I don't get the rare candy, though. I might have to Tinkatuff this turn, man. There is still a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. I'm going to play my Tinkatink. I'm going to Nest Ball for the Greninja. We're going hard trying to get this Tinkaton off this turn. We're going to Concealed Card to get rid of our Reversal Energy here. Get 2 more cards. Rare Candy. Yes, we got it. We got it. Play the Rare Candy. Get the Tinkaton EX. Play the double Turbo Energy. We should have more than enough cards in our hand for the big hammer 220 knockout on the Charmander, baby! That was... Whew! And they concede! They concede off the rip. Hey, if that's not a successful game, I don't know what is. We didn't get the normal Tinkaton going, but that's fine. You guys understand how that works, right? Discard a card, draw 3 cards. It's an additional draw. We luckily did not get Iono'd poorly in both of our games. I mean, this first game, there was no chance for our opponent to do so. But that's a successful since episode if I ever did see one. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know if you try out this Tinkaton EX deck and see any success with it. Otherwise, we're going to end her here. Thank you so much for joining me. Leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. And leave a comment for any decks you want to see in the future. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody.